So I'm working on my salad bubbler, the bubbler washer for the salad greens for the farm. I started putting it together, then I decided I wanted to, or I needed to make the tray, and I'm going to go ahead and put casters on it. So let's go in the garage. I'll show you what I've done so far, and maybe this can help you with building your own. So this is an upside down view of the stand for the bubble washers. Now let me put this on a tripod, and then I'll get you some dimensions, and you can work with it how you would like, okay? I'm going to have to do this on the fly because I'm not going to be able to edit it, so I'll just pause it a lot. So this is the underneath, this is the rectangle. I'm going to give you my dimensions, and yours may vary. The stock tank that I used was the 2 foot by 2 foot by 6 foot metal stock tank. Same one as they had at a Steadfast Farm and in the Curtis Stone videos for Steadfast Farm. So on this table, the length was 68 inches. Actually, it's 68 and 5/8 inches. Now, you should be able to see this. Yeah, you can see. You can see that at 68.5 inches, the ducks are over talking me, that it butts into the end piece. The end board needed to be 26 and 1/2 inches. Okay. Now, without the casters, this 4x4 would be about 17 inches. That'll give or take depending on how tall the users would be. I was going through some scrap lumber and I found this old 4x4, but it's actually like a 5.5 by 5.5. It's solid, pure, old growth redwood. If I would have known that, I probably wouldn't have cut it up. You can't even buy this stuff. But so it'll go in the corner, your 4x4s, and then I'm putting in 4 deckmate pins, and they're 3 inches long. Now, because these were 6 inches, I knocked off 6 inches from the 17 inches, so they're 11 inches, I believe. Yeah, they're 11. And then I didn't want to use regular screws for this, so I went a little more heavy duty with these self-drilling bolts. But all this, everything here is just leftover recycled stuff. I haven't bought anything yet. Okay, so that puts this together. There's one more part. I'm going to pause it and get that ready, and then we'll show that. Okay, I wanted to show the next step. I don't have like a speaker on my body, so I have to talk loud. This would be the last piece of wood. And again, I'll give you the dimensions on this, but this one's going to be approximate depending on your lumber. In fact, yours will probably be a couple inches longer. On mine, it was 5 foot 1/2 inches. Yours would probably be about 5'2" or so. You'll have to just figure that out on your own on that one. But this next 2x4 is going to sit right here. Now, remember, this is upside down, so it's going to sit flush with the top. And the reason is the trough is actually going to sit inside this thing. So this 2x4 here will be on the side. This 2x4 will be on the underneath. Okay? I would probably bolt it on this way. Now, this is going to take a lot of weight. Remember, 100 gallons times, I don't know, I think a gallon's 7 pounds. So, you know, you could have 600 pounds of water, 500 pounds of water in this thing. So it's going to have to be built pretty strong. So what I will probably do is I'll probably put a deckmate screw, put a 3-inch screw pin in here about every 6 inches. And then I had some leftover Simpson ties, and they'll sit right in here. Actually, I'll do it over here so you can see. Now, you can go to the Lowe's or a Home Depot or a hardware store and pick up some kind of a corner tie. Okay? I'll put this together and paint it up. And after that, we'll shoot another video of putting the actual bubbler together itself. Okay? Well, a couple more notes I thought of. The holes for all these screws, not in the 4x4, but in the 2x4 were pre-drilled. They fit in here tight, but they fit in here. So then, also, if if anyone doesn't know what it is, these are impact drivers, and they're much better for working with drilling, just for all purposes, than the old battery-powered regular drills. And you'll hear it clicking when it gets tight, but that's the impacting. Most people know what they are by now, but they don't slip or stop. They keep going, so you have to be a little more careful. Let's go ahead and I will go ahead and put in this caster. It's a large caster, but they were free from a leftover project that was being thrown away. These bolts actually self-drill. It's a self-drilling bit. So I will do this one. So they work pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead and cut this tape off. So I actually used a clamp to hold it. I'll point this out again. This 2x4 going across is flush with the top, which is actually the bottom. So I'm using some kind of a corner bracket clamp you can use between this board and the 4x4. Because remember, you're holding a lot of weight. So with the clamp and then also a screw every 6 inches, I think that'll hold. Okay, you can see it mostly completed. There is one more thing another appendage I want to do to this. I'd like to make an arm that goes up, if possible, to anchor the jacuzzi pump to, but I'll do that at another stage. So this is mounted. Now I will get it ready for paint. Then it'll look all nice and pretty like Eric's steadfast. Let's see how you can see that in there. Okay, you can see that. See how this is inset now? So the reservoir, the holding tank, sits in here against here. This will be a sidewall. This will be the bottom. Flip it around. And then, because it's on casters, I can move it around, which would be kind of nice for cleaning up. I'll probably have to put some blocks or some shims against the wheels to keep them locked, but I think it'll be okay. And if I don't like it, I'll just rip the casters off. Okay, I am pretty much finished building the bubbler stand. I wanted to show you a couple modifications and changes I had to do. The 4x4, you see where the leg is, where the caster is right here. I had to notch this out. Here's the notch I did. Let's see if I can. So it would fit. Otherwise, it would end up being bigger. The other thing I did is I did a 2x4 going up the back. Let me pause it and go to a little different direction. Okay, you see there's a unpainted 2x4 in the back of it, and there's a 2x4 going across right there, and one more up there. The top one is obviously to hold the pump, the jacuzzi pump. This other one right here is going to have for the on and off switch. You'll see it when it's finished and painted. But let me pause it. Let's turn this around so you can see how I did it on the back, how I did the 2x4. As you can see, there's a 2x4 going across. That's my horizontal one, which I'm tied into the leg on the right and the leg on the left. Then I'm connected here with 4 pins. Actually, I want to go over that in another little part of this, all the way up, and so you can see it now. I will pause this, and then I got one more other thing I need to show you. Now I put all this together with deckmate screws or decking screws. These are I think are porcelain coated screws, so they're not going to rust. Let's see if you can see those. I like the Phillips square drive, but you probably have to get the Star is what they have at Lowe's and Home Depot now. There's 4 screws going through this 2x4 into this one. The first 2x4 I drilled a pilot hole just through this 2x4. That might make it a little easier, and then, but no drilling into the secondary ones, just so you can make it tight. If you should have issues later on, which we might, if being used a lot, moved around a lot, we or I or you may have to, okay, let's see, switch to using a bolt with a couple washers, a nut, and then a lock washer. I'm making this simple for people that don't know this kind of stuff. A lock washers are the ones that are split, and that locks the bolt on so it doesn't slide off. So you'd need 2 washers, a lock nut washer, and a I'm too tired to do this. Okay, bye-bye.